Hey everyone, today I am so excited to go through the layout guide from Plum Planner. I just ordered my Plum Planner last week and did my unboxing, and I decided to throw this in there, which is kind of funny. It's a layout guide that goes through all of the different options, and the reason why that's funny is because I didn't get any layouts. I wound up getting a monthly planner with just notebook pages, and I really want to see how that works, but I love this because I've had so many different kinds of Plum planners and I have never had a chance to see everything like actually hold it in my hand. So what I want to do is try to go through every single one of these and be thorough but quick because look at how many different options there are. It is a literal booklet, and I hope that this will help you if you're thinking about getting a Plum planner for 2026, just looking at these options. And I also want to tell you, I recommend going online and getting this. It's only $10 and you could get it now, October, November. Use the different layouts, use a different one each week, and then you can decide like, oh, I was definitely going to order that, and then when I used it, it wound up not being as great as I thought, or I gave that one a try and I wound up really liking it even though I wouldn't have picked it. So let's go ahead and just jump right in, and I will show you all of the different layouts that you can get in your Plum planner. All right, before we jump in, I just want to show you the user guide here. Okay, so it takes you through all of the details. It shows you the planner size, the layouts, all of the info, different binding and cover options depending on the size. I also really like these two things here. First, the key for the arrows. This green arrow indicates it's a single area for personalization, meaning if you personalize it, that's the only spot it will show up, whereas this coral one means it will be repeated in that same spot for each day. I also like the preview of the color scheme options because the modern is a little bit of color, but it's toned down, whereas the colorful is super bright. And then you can see these neutrals of beige, I try saying this, beige, sage, and gray. That's hard to say all together, but you can see how those would look, and it's just nice to see them printed on paper. So let's jump right in. We have this monthly layout, and it shows you what it looks like on this side. This is the option where the lines are turned off, and this is where the lines are on. You can also start your monthly on a Sunday or a Monday. So this is the example where it runs Sunday to Saturday, but you could have it run Monday to Sunday depending on your preference. And you can also add your own special dates. It's a little bit of an upcharge, but honestly, I think it's worth it, especially if you are a Plum planner person. And that's because you go to this part of the website, you enter anniversaries, birthdays, dates, etc., and it saves it so that when you go to order your Plum planner next year, you can just add them all in. So that's really helpful. I have done that before. I don't do it as much now. I just will write stuff down, but it is an option. And you can also choose to add country and religious holidays, or you could add no holidays. You could keep it blank. So this is the overview for our first monthly option. Now, getting into the weeklies. I have had this one before. I really like this. This is the vertical priorities. So you can personalize this box and then you can add all of your habits for this habit tracker here. You can do up to 5, which I think is good. I don't think you really want to be tracking more, but there are so many different options of things that you can track. And I'll get to this in a minute, but the back, actually, I'm gonna get to it right now. The back here gives you tips for personalizing your planner. What I really like is it gives you those suggested customizations. You've got categories such as budget, creative ideas, family, habit tracker, right? So the habit tracker gives you about 10 ideas, but you can do you could Google habit tracker ideas and get ideas, or maybe you already have some. Long phrases, myself, student, tasks, teacher, tracker, wellness, and work. So this is really helpful because it gives you some ideas before you start personalizing. It also gives you some tips for personalizing your planner up here. So think of those areas of your life that are stressors. Think of where you could incorporate things and ways to bring joy. I also like this, identify areas that can be compartmentalized to create focus. Think of your long-term goals. And this is my favorite tip. Consider leaving one header blank in case life has other plans. Sometimes I like these layouts and I'm just like, I'm not gonna personalize those. So I think I have had this twice. Maybe once I personalized it, once I didn't. I'm gonna have to follow up and check on that. But I like not personalizing it because maybe, for one season of life, you're like this is gonna be the workouts that I do. And then maybe another time you're like, nope, this just needs to be top 3 priorities. So I think that's really helpful to leave it unpersonalized if you're not sure, because then you kind of have some wiggle room. So once again, you've got these 2 boxes, the habit tracker, and then you've got Monday through Friday are the exact same size. You've got the 3 bullets, a column, and then a box, and then Saturday and Sunday are a little bit smaller. Now this is going to be the same exact one, except it doesn't have the lines. Color is turned off, so it's not quite as colorful and bright, even though this is a little bit more subtle. This one is very minimal. It's that exact same layout, but you don't have those lines. This is the only one in the entire booklet that I'm confused by, because you've got Monday through Sunday. I like this because everything is the same size. This is the me planner, and this is what the lines are on and the color is on. So you can see it's kind of got this teal color. You've got the month at a glance. You've got to-dos or a little list, however you'd like to use that here, and an empty box. But I'm just not exactly sure, what do you put in this box here? And it's because it's that coral color, it's gonna be repeating. At any rate though, this is a good option if you need something simple. I just thought that this would be different categories, so that, like I said, this is the only one that confuses me a little bit. So if you've ever had this one and you can clarify, leave me a comment. Now this is going to be the exact same one as the page before, but these are the more neutral colors. This is with color off, and it doesn't have those lines. This one is the MAE, morning, afternoon, evening, weekly vertical layout, and this has lines on and color on. So you see that you've got Monday through Sunday here with these 3 boxes, and you could do morning, afternoon, evening, or you could do work, personal, miscellaneous. You can really personalize it however you want. And again, you can personalize these 2 options on the left or not, up to you. One thing I want to say about this that I like is that if you are a person that does not work a traditional schedule, like not a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, or maybe you do, and this applies to you as well. Sometimes it's annoying when Saturday and Sunday are like super tiny, they're squished together, they have to share a box. You're like, no, I'm working on Saturday and Sunday, or I have stuff that I need to write down. This is a good option because Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, everything is the exact same size. So that is really helpful. Now, once again, this is going to be that same overview, except it doesn't have the colors turned on and it doesn't have the lines. So same exact overview, it just depends on if you want those lines or not. Now this one is going to be an hourly, weekly vertical layout. So you start from 7, you go to 7 in the evening, and you've got these little boxes at the bottom. I suppose that those could be your 3 priorities or top 3, whatever. You've got those 3 bullets there. Once again, you've got on the left side the monthly calendar, the bullets, and the empty box. And again, this is that same option without the lines. If I were doing this one, I think I actually would prefer without the lines, so you get a little bit more space to write. I feel like the lines over here make it look just a tiny bit cluttered, but again, it's totally personal preference, and that's what's so great about Plum, is that there are so many options and you can just do what works best for you. Now this one is so good if you know that you want a vertical and you just don't need a bunch of categories, breakdowns. You just are like, give me my columns, right? So again, we've got the monthly, the list, and the box, but then here you just have a ton of space to write, and you've got your 3 bullets at the bottom, and then the next page, once again, same exact thing, but without those lines. Now here, it's funny because for the hourly before, I said I think I would want no lines because it gives me more space to write, but to me this seems way too unstructured, and I think I would prefer the lines here. So I guess it just depends, like I said before, on personal preference. Okay, this, I love this. So I'm a huge Ecolo planner person. My only thing is that I wish that their paper quality was a little better, but they're outlined like this. I love this. You have the days on the right side, and then you have your miscellaneous page on the other. And the reason why I like this is because you might have things that are happening on specific days of the week. Like I have an appointment on Wednesday and you want to write it down here. But then maybe you have tasks of like, I need to pick up, XYZ or run this errand, and it needs to happen at some point this week, but it doesn't have to fall on a specific day. It can be over here. So I like that because you have all of your weekly happenings here, reminders, errands, maybe appointment scheduling, like whatever you need to put here, but then your actual events that need to take place on the day can go over here. So this is what it looks like for a weekly with lines, and this is what it looks like for the weekly with outlines. So you've got it like a little bit more open, right? And then here you've got those lines. This to me looks more like the Ecolo because there are no lines, I don't think, on that one. So really like this. Now, moving along to the two-sided day. This is a weekly horizontal layout. I like this as well. If you want a horizontal, you want something that isn't totally plain, but it's not overwhelming as well. You've got this empty box up here. You've got the month overview. And then you just have these chunks and you've got this little box that you can put whatever you want. You could do, reminders, your, meals, like whatever you want to put, but you have that little box there as an extra. Once again, this is a great option if you want Saturday and Sunday to be the same size as the weekdays. And this is what it looks like without the lines. Same overview, same layout, but no lines. This one is, I think, another favorite of mine. Again, it reminds me of that Ecolo where you've got Monday to Sunday on the right, and then you've got your weekly on the left, but it is not, I don't want to say the other one was overwhelming, but this one is a lot more simple, right? So you've got the box on top, column 1, column 2, done, right? Super easy. Again, this is what it looks like without the lines. But I just like this, right? Like maybe these are all the errands that you have to run. These are all of your to-do lists. Maybe they're both to-do lists, but different categories. Maybe it's your personal to-do list and your work to-do list. Up here, you can write something that makes you happy, gratitude. Like I said, look at the back of the booklet, Google whatever to figure out what personalization makes the most sense. But I don't know, I absolutely love this, and I think that this is a really good option if you want something where you can write down on the days, but also weekly overview as well. Now this one, I don't hate, but it's not my favorite because I don't know why we need double bars up here. So again, if you've ever had this planner and you think that this is a really good layout, let me know in the comments, like what are you personalizing up here? Because to me, you're taking up 2 lines and only leaving 4 lines down here. And what do we need to personalize up there? That's what I want to know. But you do still get those 4 lines of space. Monday through Friday are the same size, but Saturday and Sunday are going to be smaller. You have these little bullet areas on Monday through Friday, and you get 2 boxes for personalization if you so choose, as well as the habit tracker where you can track 5 different habits. I actually think that's really good. I may have said this before. I don't think you want to track more than 5 habits. I think it can get a little bit overwhelming, but this is a good option for the horizontal if you feel like you don't need to have a ton of space, just because, like I said, I feel like those bars take up a little bit of room. And once again, this is what it looks like without all of the lines at the bottom. All right, moving on to hourly. I will preface this by saying if you are a new planner person, I never recommend hourly. Daily planners, actually that's what I meant to say, daily. I don't recommend daily if you're like, I want to try a planner. The reason why is because I think it can be really overwhelming. There are days of the week where I'm like, yes, I have my tea. I'm going to get organized. I'm going to be an organized person. I'm going to get myself together. I've got my list. I've got this. I'm making phone calls. That happens like 1 day a week. And then what would happen is the other 4 days of the week, I would be like, forget it. Because you're so busy doing stuff, sometimes you don't have time to sit down and organize yourself. Now, maybe you are a person where you're like, I need to do that every day. Great, get yourself a daily. But if you are new to planning and you're not sure, I don't recommend that. But if you are looking for a daily, here is a great option for you. So you have these 3 boxes here, right? You can personalize them at the top. You have the hourly breakdown here. It goes from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you've got lines here, a box, and a to-do. This is going to be the same exact thing, but it doesn't have the colors. It doesn't have the lines on this side. So again, 7 to 5, 3 boxes at the top, 3 in the middle. You've got like a big block of space down here actually, and then you've got right here those bullets. So really nice option if that's going to suit you. I just don't recommend a daily planner if you're brand new and you're not sure. Now here's another daily option, and this one is really nice as well. You have the daily layout and you get the day at the top. You've got your bulleted list, another list, like this seems like a lot for a day. Like if I have to do this much stuff in a day, I'm doing too much. That feels like a lot. Like this should be my week. I don't want to be doing more than that, right? So I am not saying don't get it, but this feels like a little bit much for me personally. Now for this one, again, this is going to be the same thing, but your boxes are not colored in and you don't have the lines here in this area or down here at the bottom. Now this is going to be a nice simple one. I actually like this. This is interesting because it's different. You have Monday through Sunday. They each get a box. You can personalize if you want, right? You've got a good chunk of space. There's not a lot of frills, not a lot of extras. You get 1 grid here, this little square at the bottom to put miscellaneous notes, and that's it. So that might work for you depending on what you're looking for. This is the same one. Once again, it just doesn't have those lines. All right, now we're getting into those teacher-student ones. Now this teacher-student one runs Monday through Friday, and you get little boxes here for Saturday, Sunday, and a little box here for just, I guess, extra notes if you want to jot it down, and you've got that monthly calendar. Now you can personalize it here. And I could have seen myself doing this when I was a teacher. It gives you space for up to 7 different classes or mods or periods that you're teaching or classes you're taking. Even if you are maybe a college student in 5 classes instead of 7, you could personalize these 5 and then leave these 2 for miscellaneous or other. Same for teachers, depending on how many preps you have, how many classes you're teaching. Now, if you want this without the lines, this is what it looks like. And then if you're interested in something like this, but you want even a little bit more space and you don't need this Saturday, Sunday on the weekends, we have this. So it runs Monday to Friday. It doesn't have Saturday or Sunday on it. And you have these 7 columns, lots of space to write notes, and you can get it like this, or you can get it here without the lines. So good options for teachers and students depending on what you're looking for. Lastly, they have some different floral options. So again, these are going to be the same monthly and similar weekly layouts to some of the things we've already seen, but they just have like different flowers on it. So we've got some flowers here, a different font. It's really pretty. This is the soft floral monthly spread. Again, as a reminder, you can start on Sunday or Monday. You can add holidays or personal holidays if you want. You don't have to, and you can have lines off or on. So this is the soft floral monthly. This is going to be the soft floral vertical. So once again, you get those boxes up at the top. You can personalize along with the habit tracker, and the columns Saturday and Sunday are going to be a little smaller, but you've got just a little floral design here that is really pretty, and they have a horizontal one as well. So again, same really pretty floral design here. You've got a box here, and then you've got Monday to Wednesday on the left, Thursday to Sunday on the right. And each of these boxes is the same size. The only difference is that on the left, you can see what it looks like if you choose to have the lines, and on the right, these are without the lines. Now, this is going to be a different type of floral. This is the Bright Blooms. So the Bright Bloom monthly spread, again, same as the other monthlies, but you can see it's got a different font with these little colorful flowers. And then these are really fun. So the vertical, again, similar to the other vertical that we just looked at. You've got the same personalization, same layout with that special font and design, and then the same thing here, a different font and design than what would be in one of the other layouts. And I like here how it's kind of like scalloped. It's got the cool edges, so it's pretty, it's different. The last one I want to show you is the Bright Blooms Daily and the Soft Florals Daily. So again, you get those different font, little colorful on this side for the Bright Bloom flowers, and for this you've got the soft floral with sort of like that pencil or sketch outline, but you have got 8 to 5, 8 to 5, right? These are separate. They're just showing both options of what hour breakdown you've got. And then you've got right here, you've got the list, you've got a box, and then you've got a little box at the bottom. So this is a daily option, once again, if you're interested in a daily. And then if you do decide to get a daily, this says weekly page is dispersed after each week of daily pages, which I didn't realize with dailies, you've got a little weekly here just to jot things down. So that's helpful. And then here we've got daily priorities. So it looks like you can customize each of these icons. I like this one with the medicine. So if you like take a vitamin or medication, you can remember to do that. The hours run every 30 minutes from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you have a daily habit tracker, which at this point you probably want to get it pre-printed because that would be a lot to just be writing that in every day. But then at the same time, I'm like, are you going to be tracking the same thing in June that you are in January? I don't know. So I don't know, don't listen to me. Personalize it or don't, that's up to you, but that is a lot. And you've got an option to personalize this bulleted list as well as both of these. So this is a daily priority option. And there you have it. So this is just a really great booklet. I know I went through that quickly, but I didn't want to go on and on and on forever. If there's something that you're thinking you're interested in, feel free to pause and maybe like zoom in and look at it if you think, but I didn't want to talk forever and ever because it's a really long booklet. But if you are thinking about getting a plum planner, like I said at the beginning, definitely order this. It's only $10, and I'm planning on using this, you know, maybe on a week where I'm like, yeah, I need a little bit more organization. Let me try, you know, what the teacher grid, you know, maybe I'll try the quad. You know, there's so many different options, and that's what's great about their website. You can click, you can toggle, you can see what it looks like with lines, with outlines. If you do this layout, that layout, this size, so many options. So you're getting exactly what you want. It's just about knowing what you want. You can have what you want, but you need to know what you want first. So I recommend this because it's just a few bucks and it will help you determine that. And you can do a couple weeks of test runs before you order. So please let me know if you have questions. I hope I didn't talk too fast. I felt like I said more words in this video than any other video I've ever made. I can hear my pop, you know, many years ago when we were kids, he was like, enunciate. And I just feel like I have never talked so fast in my life. So apologies, maybe like listen to me on like slower speed instead of speeding me up, whatever you have to do. But just wanted to make sure that we got through all of this. So I hope this was helpful. Like I said, leave me your comments and I can go into more depth and answer questions if there's anything you're wondering about. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.